has been formally launched. So we have just started the process. So what would be the challenges in the beginning stage, do you think?
In the first stage, I think the challenge is quite limited because most of the state governments have already zeroed in because the process has been going on. They have been collecting data as per the guidelines of the Government of India, and that challenge is slightly limited. But of course, there will be competing demands from multiple cities, and they will have to ultimately decide which city to propose for a smart cities scheme. But I guess the challenge would come from the second stage of challenge competition as to because then the real work of the rollout of the project starts. There are huge challenges.
And this smart city strategies, what would be the key points which we have to follow? I mean, for the state government and especially the urban local bodies, which they have to follow very stringently.
Uh, the main challenge, in my opinion, would be capacity of the urban local bodies. Even if they are selected, how capable are they to form an SPV and work in the structure of SPV? In any case, they have been working in a typical traditional government setup till now, and some of them have moved on from the traditional government setup to an independent setup. But SPV is a different kind of entity, and public-private participation is a major part of the whole strategy to leverage the resources and make it big. That will be a major challenge of most of the state governments and the urban local bodies to build capacities first to use that kind of resources for making a city smart.
And this ICT technology, like various initiatives by the NDA government. We have Digital India initiative, we have smart cities, we have Amrut cities coming up, housing for all. Do you think it should be synergized together? The speakers here were also saying in the dialogue seminar that it should be synergized, it will help. So if you think it should be synergized, how it would help?
I think it is already synergized. During the launch of the Smart City conference itself, most of the officers who made a presentation about it, they said, and we also know now as secretaries of the Urban Development Department in the state government, that the Amrit scheme, the Smart City mission, and even there is another scheme called Hriday. All these schemes are supposed to be dovetailed. The challenge lies to the mission directors who will be handling all these schemes as to how to coordinate. In the smart city scheme also there is they have created a task force in this at the state government level of the parastatal bodies. The purpose of that is actually to dovetail all these schemes. So the concept is there, the vision is also there. During implementation, challenges will come, but I'm sure that most of the officers and the at the state government level are aware of these challenges of dovetailing all these resources.
What do you think about the industries? How prepared they are, and how is their participation as of now? The industries, various industries' participation, the private sector's participation in the smart city nation.
The private sector is much more enthusiastic because they see a business opportunity, which is fair enough that they are enthusiastic. Many of the companies are multinational. They have done a lot of work in other countries of smart cities, but they are not yet aware of the challenges of the Indian cities to be made into a smart city. And that they will have to work on. In my opinion, many of the IT related companies with hardware and software expertise are enthusiastic, but I would put a word of caution to them that it is a business opportunity, not as big as it looks like. If the smart cities mission is 50,000 crore, and even if you leverage it by 100%, it comes to 100,000 crore. In my opinion, IT investment would be 10% to 15% of that. So it comes to only a 1,500 crore rupees opportunity for the IT companies, whether they are in hardware or software put together, at the most 2,000 crore. So it is a big opportunity, but not as big as it looks like, 48,000 or 100,000 crore. So they will have to do a lot of work
Like
even to get that kind of 2,000 crore rupee opportunity to be exploited. So they are enthusiastic, which is a good thing. They have done a lot of work in the other countries, it is another better thing. But to adapt it, they will have to work with the local bodies and the state governments a lot.
And what about the global expertise which are coming in? Like we have a lot of partnership, like a lot of interest from Singapore, Japan, and other from
Yes,
Amsterdam, US, and everywhere.
yes.
So how do you see this? This.
I see it as a good way of collaboration. You see, ultimately, our country also and at the local bodies level need to think globally, which I think is missing. Many of the officers think globally in India also, but the organizations do not think globally. With these kind of participations and these increasing over in the coming years, I think the way of working will change a little bit, which will be useful because it will be much more aligned to the global practices. So that is a major plus point with America participating in 3 smart cities and many other international destinations trying to help some cities to become smart cities. Beyond that, I think India is quite different from many of these countries and cities. There, they will also learn a little bit from us. That is my way of looking at it.
So the smart city initiative, how it has helped the government sector itself, like this initiative, how it has
You see,
changed. Like we have e-governance coming in, open clouds coming in, and a lot of changes in the government sector within the government sector. How do you see this, and how it is?
I see a lot of difference in the functioning of the government of India itself. I myself has worked in government of India in the past. The current way of functioning in government of India is drastically different, which means that there is a lot of enthusiasm with these kind of initiatives like Digital India, and so there is definitely I would say a major improvement in terms of connect between the state government and the government of India ministries. That is a major uh, driver for all these initiatives to succeed. And I am quite hopeful that with this kind of initiative from Government of India and the way of functioning of the ministries, the state governments are also quite enthused and even pushed to perform much better, which is actually a beneficial thing for the state governments, whether they realize it formally or not.
And by 2020, how do you? We have kept. I mean, the
Yes.
government has kept 2019, but 2020. Let's fix it 2020. How do you see the cities moving? How the smart cities
Well,
would?
you will find a range of things happening. Some of the cities will actually be smart, and many of the cities would be struggling. And yeah, they would be struggling. I'm very sure because the complexities of all these elements in a smart city are entirely different if you start from Kashmir and then go down to south. Some of them would be struggling to achieve that. It's not that they will not be attempting, it is just that the complexity is so that they will be lagging behind. So some of them would be smart by 2019, I guess. Some of them may take another couple of years to become smart. But it is a learning process, I think, for next 400 cities to come up. Once it is done, I think the next 400 would be much easier to do in all over the country.
So last question is smart city competition. How it is? What would be the next phase? Right now, the cities have applied.
All I am aware is as per the guidelines. I don't know how it will span out in the government of India, but first stage challenge is within the hands of the state governments. That we are doing it is based on a formula driven, and first stage formula driven is okay. But I think second stage formula driven will the government of India will also face challenges within the ministry. I am sure they are capable of handling all those challenges, and they will also find a reasonable way of ultimately finalizing and then start funding the initiatives. Every new initiative will always have challenges, and people will surmount them. Thank you.